Up today, it's another L54 fight against I'm Poor, also known as Brian. So I took my time in accepting this one. Sorry for that delay again, Brian, but we'll accept that and head in now. So my set for this one, we've gone for the Wraith Scrolls. Last couple of times I've battled him, I've been using the Fiery Battle Duck and Energy Blaster as something a bit different, but that didn't work out well last time. He had perfect counters to it, so Wraith Scrolls come back in, and they're always good due to avoiding, what's it called? Completely slipped my mind. Due to avoiding shade. Wraith Scrolls can't get shaded. The only other big difference to my set this time is I've brought in downsize. I've not really seen that actually in L54, other than on the L54 pet page as a recommended potential weapon. I'd always thought it was a bit of a, well, not really a useful weapon. But I found one thing in L54 that you can have trouble with is closing out a fight and managing your HP. So I've put that in there as something which, if I'm ever at a point where to try and stop a heal or to try and stop myself dying, whatever it is, where I need to limit the amount of HP that I take in a certain turn, then I think that can always be a good option. So you all know by now, constant positive thinking, and we're in. So he might take a little while, just because I took so long, but we've just mailed him to do it. Here we go, 38 to 38, Scimitar and Gladius. So he used Static Cling and I only came out level because of positive thinking. He's taken a good chunk of physical out there. I took the Scimitar out of my set because I wasn't really getting a massive amount of use for it, and I wanted to give the Ship's Hammer a go, but I might have to look at getting that back in again. So Shade's up next, and he likes Static Cling on the first turn. I've noticed that, but that means that he's not going to use positive thinking until post heal, which means that if he has Shade, I think he sometimes varies whether he has Shade or Meditate, but if he has Shade, then he'll be using that on this turn, most likely, to make sure that he can get the most uses out of it. And people don't often repeat moves, but Wraith Scrolls avoid Shade, so I'm thinking this could be a good time to get that in there. And hopefully Shade can block some of his. I've had quite a lot of luck with Shade lately, but I think that's mainly because I've had some opponents using a wide spread of icons. And there's only a maximum of 5 that Shade can actually block, so if you're using 3, 4, 5 of them, then it's pretty likely that some is going to get blocked. Waiting on Jasmine. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Jasmine. Okay. Oh, he had Meditate. And Shade came in handy. Blocking 3 air, which is therefore 4.5 air. And yeah, he wasn't expecting the Wraith Scrolls again. So 26 plays 22. I'm obviously going to have Halitosis. He'll go back to Cling, which means now's a good time to bring in the DMB. What's he been using a lot of? A lot of air, a lot of water, frozen water daggers. Well, actually, not a lot of water, just his water daggers. Earth as well. I could not bother with the DMB and just have the Combat Amulet to block both of those, and then maybe the Ship's Hammer with that. I mean, the Ship's Hammer doesn't stack icons offensively with the Combat Amulet, but I don't really want to use a Wraith Scroll again. So let's... I could use a Wraith Scroll again, you know, because it'll just as much block the physical, and he is blocking some physical. But if he used the Gladius and the Scimitar, then that could damage that. Maybe I do want to stick with the Wraith Scroll. Yeah. Let's go for that. Oh, he did bring out the Scimitar in Gladius, which means it's a good job I used the Combat Amulet, taking out some Earth and Light. But I should have stuck with the Water Dagger that I first considered. If I'd gone DMB, then that might have been a better idea. Well, no, the Combat Amulet did well. Halitosis and Wraith Scroll, let's say. So 2 ahead, going into the heal turn. So he's going to heal, obviously, and I'm not going to. So we want to block Light, which means either DMB or Silver Combat Amulet. Probably Silver Combat Amulet because he's using Earth lately as well. That blocks the 3, which means the most he can do is 10. So I don't have to worry about that. So it's just about getting icons through. And possibly blocking some of his. And tempted to go Water Daggers. That would cover Earth, Light, Air and Water for my defense, which is pretty nice. Yeah, I'll go for that. Waiting on. I should be looking more at that Gladius and blocking that. So he used Scimitar, which means I was right to use the daggers as I've only taken 2. So 44 plays 10. Now this could be an opportunity to use Downsize. If I use Downsize and the Combat Amulet, there's probably a good chance I'd survive. But I'm not sure I'm not sure it's worthwhile. I'll just have to use a healing turn afterwards anyway. So heal. At the moment the Combat Amulet is looking the best. But if he uses the Scimitar, well, he doesn't need the Gladius because I don't have Halitosis for this turn. He likes to dual wield whatever constant he does on my heal turn, quite understandably so. Sometimes he uses Wraith Scrolls, sometimes he uses Ducks, and who knows if he's got something else up his sleeves. I think Water Daggers are always a safe bet. So yeah, Water Daggers heal. Let's give that a go. Oh, he's brought out the fire. Chili sword and pocket cooking pot. I fought people before with chili swords, and I'm just... I don't know. I mean, fire is quite hard to block. I don't currently have anything in my set to deal with fire. I do have the Snowflake Pendant in my sort of repertoire of weapons, if you like, that is a possibility for blocking fire, but I don't really need to use that very often. Oh, hang on 1 second. I'm just having problems with the recording. I think I've got the free version of this software, which means it only does 10-minute battles at a time, and then I have to start re-recording, so I'm just doing that now. Thankfully, Alex has told me about another program to use, which is better, so hopefully that should stop happening. I'll just start it again once I'm back and ready. So, we're going to go for... He did meditate on the same turn as me, which means he's not on to that yet, so it'll still be cling. And I think he's not shown any counter to this, But I think Dusty Magic Broom could also be useful. Possibly paired with a Ship's Hammer. To stop some physical, which has been fairly frequent so far. So let's give that combo its first outing of the battle. Nice. Nice. He brought out the Golden Compass, which means bringing the Dusty Magic Broom in instead of the Corbat Amulet block more. And also, Dusty Magic Broom deals more damage out. He did block the physical of Makeshift Ships, but Makeshift Ships blocks Scimitars, so that sort of evens out. So we're at 33 to 23. So here, I want to be able to knock him out in the next turn. 23 is the max damage you can do with Static Cling, not using reflectors. So I want to stay above 23, and I want him to get down to a level where he can't block enough of my dual Wraith Scrolls to stay alive. So here's where I want downsize. I can combine it with Shade 2, and then I want something offensive as it can get, because I know that's going to stop enough damage as long as Shade picks up something. So I think a Wraith Scroll, trying to get as much through there. So I assume he'll go offensive here, needing to try and force something. Because he'll know 23 is a precarious situation, especially 10 behind. Although he'll have Meditate, and I've been really slow making this decision. I would say perhaps I should leave Shade for another turn, but I don't have anything else to use. And I'll get Halitosis back next turn. So let's go for this. He's done, well, he got the Meditate off. I got 10 through. He got 7. Blocked the air, and downsized it quite nicely too. So 17, now's the time to say, can he block 20? He's got the Wave Scimitar, in fact he can, the Wave Scimitar blocks 4.5 physical. So is there another way to deal 17 damage here? I'm not sure. I have a way to deal 17 damage, assuming he uses the Scimitar. Which means I need to block the Scimitar, because that's surely coming. Which means Frozen Water Daggers. And then Cling as well. I think that's the best I can do. I'm predicting Wave Scimitar with Cling, and I'm not sure what he might use. Possibly the Gladius alongside that. I don't know. I mean, he could go all out attack, and that would be a surprise, but it could happen. But no, I'm probably expecting Scimitar Gladius. Am I happy with that? In fact, if it is the Gladius, Fate Pendant would be better. Yeah, I'm thinking that. Waiting. The downsize did work quite well though. He managed to block. Well, the great thing about downsize is it doesn't matter what they use, it blocks it all the same. Which means even though he had fire there, which I don't have any counter for, downsize still blocks that the same as if it's air or physical or earth. There we go. We used the pocket cooking pot. So we actually went more offensive than I expected there. But saying that, I didn't have any other counter or fire. So, fair enough. And he got the second Meditate. That's frustrating. Okay, so Halitosis is coming in. I haven't seen any shield from him yet. Which means as far as I know, he can't keep himself alive. He has no meditate, he has no healer, and I don't know of any shields that he has. At 16-6, it would be very ambitious to try and get the, in fact impossible to really try and get the win here. So he's going to try and force the draw. Which means I've got to expect Cooking Pot with, I suppose, the Chili, because he knows I can't block that, and Static Cling. So I can't block the 13 icons of fire, which is 13 damage right there. I can block some light with either the Dusty Magic Broom or Silver Combat Amulet. I think Silver Combat Amulet's probably safer just in case he uses something else. So that would limit it to 18, as far as I know. And then the Frozen Water Daggers are the only thing I have blocking air. So should he go all out attack with the Cooking Pot and the Chili, this should block out the Cling, making it from 21 to 18, and block out 3 air, taking it to 15. So that would leave me with 1 HP and the win. He could always use something else. I mean, the Gladius, for instance, also does 8, so that's the same as the Chili Sword, but the air is blocked just the same. So yes, that's got to be the best move I can make, and my best chance at staying alive and getting the win. And there it is, just as I said, 1-0 with the Chili Sword and Pocket Cooking Pot. That was worked to perfection in the end. Got exactly the right prediction, stayed alive. And I'd say that as if it was an achievement, it was the only thing he could try and do. But yeah, a 1-0 win there, which is nice vengeance for me, because I, after my success with the Reflector last time out against Kai, I played Brian earlier on before and tried to do the same to him, and it completely backfired and he demolished me, so nice to be able to force a win back through. So thanks for watching again. I may be recording straight after this because I've got a Neo Mail from Drazu, who is my next opponent for the TPL tournament. We're still in the pool play, but as it was the final of L54 Drazu against me, might be quite nice to do another video of that. So thanks for watching again. That's the end of this video, and see you next time.